I will call this special meeting of the Manhattan Housing Authority Board of Commissioners to order. I don't see anybody. Were there any messages for open forum, Joanne?
No.
No? Okay. So I suggest, does any commissioner need to make comment? Okay, then I suggest we go right to the two items of business. Number one, I need a motion on resolution to approve the operating budget revision number 2.
So moved.
Okay, and a second, please.
Second.
Kennedy seconds. Does anybody have any questions about that? That one was the addition of the money, the extra money?
Yeah,
Which one
that
is
one
it?
is the addition of some of the second increment funding for the shortfall. And then I also decreased the line item that says operating subsidy CARES Act, since we didn't do the 750 for the employees. So those are the only changes that I made, was adjusting those entries.
Okay. Okay, does anybody have, we kind of discussed this at length at the regular meeting. Does anybody have any questions about anything you saw on those charts?
Just a comment that I really appreciate seeing the line item that the CARES Act affected in each of the categories. It was helpful to see that. So I know it's just we're tinkering with it, but just to clarify, Joanne, I think that HUD has told us that every time we have a budget adjustment, we're going to have to do a budget revision every month. If we don't have an adjustment, do we still have to do it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Thanks.
And the second increment, we actually only got to access it today. And we could only draw down what we could show for need. So for instance, we showed that we were going to be 78 or 79,000 in the hole. And our second increment of the shortfall funding was actually 91,327, but we could only draw down 79,000 and some change too, because that was what we could show as our need. Now, with that said, since this budget was done, we've had a few other emergencies come up, and they are going to have to show as accounts payable. I mean, you can't do a budget revision every single day. And we will probably not get those bills until 2021. So they're going to have to show as accounts payable and not show in this budget.
But because they insist on a revised budget by December 31st, we're stuck with the last 2 or 3 days with changes. Okay.
We were lucky to get access to the second increment. That, as usual, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing sometimes.
Can you make a notation on the budget for HUD to the effect that this budget was as of, I don't know what day it is, and that, I don't know what you say, several bills are there will be changes before December 31st. This is a question because I don't know the answer.
Well,
there won't
be changes because we don't know how much those bills are going to be. They will be changes, but they will show as accounts payables rather than 2020 expenses.
So you don't know the amounts yet. That's the
no. And HUD will know the date that we approve this by the date on the resolution.
Okay. All right.
Okay, great. Jamie?
Oh, I just wanted to acknowledge that we did and do have discussed the major increase on here of the 79,000 in our last meeting, and then also via an email letting us know that it came through in a timely fashion. So we celebrated that, and I wanted to make sure we acknowledged that since we didn't really talk about that big number too much in this. So
We had to kind of circle through some hoops to be able to draw those funds down. Because we don't have an approved or assigned and submitted recovery plan, we had to kind of agree via email to a temporary one that contained most everything that was in the other action plan, with one other stipulation that they had added, that we would ask the city about the possibility of waiving the pilot for 2019 and 2020. And we did bring that up on a call the other day with the city manager, the mayor, Linda, and myself, and Mandy was in on that call as well. And Dennis Marstall from the city was on that call as well.
Did they give you any indication of how they felt about that?
Of how the city?
Yeah.
Well, Ron just asked if we were in arrears, and we are in arrears for 2019. We're not in arrears for 2020 because we usually don't pay it till after the audit is completed. But he, the city indicated they would be willing to help us in any way they can. The city's concern with signing that agreement is that they feel like it is outside of the scope of the city's relationship with the housing authority, according to the resolutions that were signed when we were separated. And HUD was insisting that it be signed and returned within 10 days. And the city commission doesn't meet again until after the first of the year. So they did get kind of verbal approval to not submit until January the 5th. And even then, if it's supposed to be on that agenda, the information has to be submitted by January 31st or December 31st. The city attorney was not able to sit in on that call. And she did communicate with Craig Olson and myself yesterday. And she is attempting to find the statute that even says that to begin with. And second,
says that the city is involved.
Well, it says that the city is required to sign this contractual agreement. And I looked in the statutes and couldn't find it anywhere. And I forwarded the questions on up to HUD asking if they could provide the statute. And I have not gotten an answer back. So
On the call, the HUD official said that according to Kansas law, yada, yada, yada. And that's what they're trying to find is
well,
what
maybe it's in the Kansas Municipal Housing Act then. I thought she said I thought she meant federal statute when she said that.
she said Kansas. According to state law is what she said. So, but anyway, so people are scrambling trying to find it, I think.
I will look in the Kansas municipal law too. I'm sure if Katie can't find it, I can't, but I can't see that it would be in the state law.
Well, if the HUD person was there listening to the conversation, we should be covered.
They were the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm
Right,
curious.
but the conversation about where it is in the statute didn't happen on that call.
Oh, okay.
I'm curious, maybe not for this conversation, so this might have to be something we talk about at a different time, but I don't want to forget about it. Does our annual contributions contract address that in any capacity?
That was my next document I was going to.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions about this resolution? Can we vote on it?
I think we have to. So
Okay. Okay.
kind of, and everything looks to be in order. So
Okay.
we can't object, I don't think.
Make sure that the minutes reflect any changes that are on this document so that HUD knows that we knew what we were listening, saying, approving, please.
Put any footnotes on it you need to. Because they don't listen to us. They only look at the paper, so.
That's why I'm saying the minutes should reflect any of the details, please. Okay, call the question.
Jamie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes,
Jan,
Yes,
Livy,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
and Kennedy.
Yes.
okay, I need a motion for revision number 1. Somebody?
I
Jump
don't
on
have
it?
it in front of me. Somebody else is gonna have to move it.
Okay.
I
Somebody
move
move,
we approve the 2021 operating budget revision number 1, resolution 122920-B.
Second,
and Phil seconds, okay?
it says,
Any,
the official motion that Joanne put in here says, with any modifications required by the fee accountant upon completion of the operating subsidy calculations. That's
Okay.
that's the full motion.
that's a friendly addition to that motion,
Would you accept that, Livy?
sure.
Second,
Yeah.
Okay,
Assuming there'll be another budget revision before we know how much subsidy we're getting, but that's okay.
okay. All right, does anybody have it? Does Mandy want to make a comment on this?
So with the 2021 budget, the only thing I changed here was the 7,500 we were going to utilize in the CARES Act funding for the 750 to the employees. I added that in to the budget revision, number 1, and then I spread those expenses out underneath Labor's CARES Act and the Maintenance Department and Employee Benefits. So that's the only change to the budget.
That's what I saw. Anybody have any questions?
just to comment again that the CARES Act has made a big difference in our, a difference in our budget, and we're thankful.
Anybody else? Anything? Joanne, you want to add anything? Same thing? So am I thinking that on the January meeting, we will then vote on that $7,500 item?
No, you're voting on it now.
Oh, we're voting on to give it to the people now,
No, 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 no.
or just to add it to the budget now? We're just adding it to the budget now.
Yes, the board had tabled the conversation until the January meeting.
Okay,
And
Right.
so because we took that expense out of the 2020 budget, that CARES Act money is available at the end of the year. So we have to carry it over and put it back into the 2021 budget and allocate those expenses accordingly.
okay. All right. Anything else we need to know about any of this? Then I call the question.
Jamie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes,
Jan,
Yes,
Livy,
Yes.
Phil,
yes.
and Kennedy.
Yes.
super. So we will presume that at each meeting, there is a potential that we will be dealing with a budget revision as money and information and whatever comes due that might become a regular part of our meetings, because that's what they seem to want us to do.
Well, I think it's quite possible because you cannot possibly hit every single category on the nose every
Right.
single month, especially expenses are out of your control, like utilities and emergencies that occur, and unless we have a slush fund to charge
Okay.
those things to, and we don't have a slush fund, so.
So that might come up into that first group of things that we move on, at which we've now taken out of a whole one vote. So that if that's going to appear, let it appear up there with those so we can deal with it quickly each month as possible.
Do we need to move our monthly meeting back to the last week of the month in order to accommodate that? So we don't have to have a special meeting
I think
every month?
we do that on a regular basis. We have to change our bylaws.
Oh,
So should we anticipate probably having to have a special meeting every month?
No,
For a while.
yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to make sure that we're
That's a good
prepared and
question.
understand that.
Because we'll just be in the middle of the month. I think,
right.
ooh,
Uh,
talk with the
I-
financial analysts and see how they want us to do it, because we won't
Okay.
know what the month-end expenses are until the last day of the month.
Right. So it might postpone till the following month, actually.
Yeah, but I don't know if they will allow us to approve well, they may, based on month end of X month, because those are the financial reports that we provide to you. They're always the previous month.
Right.
So it would make sense to do the budget revision concurrently with the reports that you're looking at.
Okay. We just want to be sure that we take any extra steps and make any extra notes and do any extra little dance that they need us to do
I agree.
to keep
That's-
everybody not upset with us. There's, I know that's not possible.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that the budget revisions would probably have to come either under financial reports or old business.
Okay, I think financial reports is a good place to put it. That'll get it out of the way quickly. There is no new business.
Will we expect to have another budget revision for 2020 in January, February, when you really officially get the year done, or everything will be signed, sealed, and delivered December 31st?
No. No.
Okay,
We can't submit a year-end budget revision after the end of the year. They don't allow us to do that.
really?
So,
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna have to send this in to them tomorrow, literally.
Okay.
So that means somebody's gonna be coming by to get your signature, Jan.
Okay, that's fine. I'll be here.
Uh,
I'll be here in the afternoon, Mandy, if you need me. So seeing no new business, I'd like to wish everybody a very happy new year, that we all look forward to a year that is a little bit more fun than this one's been.
I know.
I will tell you that we've just contracted to go on a cruise over Christmas, next Christmas. Because my husband can't stand it anymore. He needs to get on a boat.
Is it refundable?
Yeah, we got the insurance, so.
Good
And
idea.
we'll jump on our shots as soon as we can get them. Everybody should do that as soon as you fall into a category to get a shot. Go get a shot. I don't know if housing authority people should be on
We're not
the,
care workers.
okay,
We're not firemen. We're not emergency workers.
Well, certainly the maintenance people who have to go in and out of all of the apartments
Yeah.
might warrant it. Okay.
call public health and see what you can do.
Been pretty-
Any of you that have to see people, you know. that
I think
becomes
they've got fall into class B probably with teachers would be my guess.
Yeah.
And that's class B. But if any of them are veterans, the VA is giving it out to the veterans now.
Oh, cool. That's
Yeah.
good to know. So does that mean my husband might be able to qualify for that?
We
But if
we
you
do
get
have
to-
some employees who are at-risk employees, so.
Yeah.
The ones here are they're giving out the Moderna shot at the VA.
Okay, that's good.
In Topeka, Moderna in Topeka.
is
I
that-
imagine it's in Topeka, and also the Seabrook in Junction City probably has it.
Oh,
Yeah, they have an office. in
Wherever
Junction.
their primary care physician, they would just contact their primary care team.
uh-huh.
Okay, that's good to know. And maybe that's information we should share with the residents.
Mhm.
if any of them are
I haven't-
veterans.
I haven't seen that announcement, so it must be they're targeting through the mail or something to the veterans directly.
Because we,
I also saw a notice today for continuum of care agencies, which were not one, and certain nonprofits are able to, there's a notice out for them about getting the homeless population vaccinated.
oh, good. And I'm assuming there's no charges for this. I haven't heard anywhere that they're charging for it. so.
They can't charge for the vaccine. They can only charge for the injection. So that's like a Walgreens or something. They can charge to administer the injection, but they can't charge for the vaccine.
Interesting.
Hey, Joanne, what is the status of housing here with regard to homeless? Do we still have homeless people that are in need of housing that we can't provide?
There are homeless people in Manhattan,
Yeah,
and we have worked with some of them. We have housed some, and there are some that simply don't qualify
yeah,
for various reasons.
okay,
Generally, it's their background checks or behaviors,
sure.
but not always, but that's the most common thing we find. But there are still homeless people in Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah, there are families that couch surf. So, yeah.
There are
Okay,
many.
guys. Happy New Year. Stay safe.
All right, thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Stay warm.
Thank you.
See you. Bye.
See you in January.
Happy
See you
New
next
Year to
year.
everyone.
Bye.
Yes. See you next year.